Greetings and welcome to the Ripple Effect. I am Selena. So, today's topic I wanted to talk about our gifting and our purpose, and just trying to develop and find out why we were created. Now, I hope to give a testimonial into how I found out my gifting and my purpose. And I just want to say there are so many of us who are wasting our lives. We are so caught up in what the enemy has put in front of us that we get distracted with the true purpose as into why we are here. It's almost like a magic trick where, you know what they say, the hands are quicker than the eyes, because something is going on over here, but your eyes are over there. And that's when the enemy can come in, not just, he comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but understand he can steal our time, which is the most important commodity that we have because it is finite. Okay, we don't get a lot of it. And the time that we do have, we should utilize it to the best of our abilities. So sometimes in life we get caught up with being just a mom, and which is one of the important, oh my goodness, you know what they say, the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. So it's one of the most important jobs you can have out there. And I hope later on to do a video about parenting and just talking about some of the things I did as a parent, because a lot of people ask me about my parenting styles and my relationship with my son. So getting back to this topic about purpose and our gifting, it took a while for me to find out what my exact gifts and talents were. Now, when I was younger, probably my late teens, early 20s, I was studying to be a nurse, okay? And, if I'm really honest, I'm going to be brutally honest, because that's what this channel is about, honesty. What was more alluring for me, and you're probably going to judge me, but I don't care because it is what it is, was the financial stability of the industry and also being able to navigate wherever it was, whether here in the States or, just traveling, because I would have been a nurse. And so for me, a lot of my family work in the medical field. So at the time, it seemed like something worth pursuing. And then once I had my son, still trying to pursue that avenue, because it was like, oh, that's such a good job and that's what you should pursue. Now, mind you, I loved writing. That's what I believe I was gifted for, and just speaking. Being, I guess they call it an orator, if I've said that right, but Google it. So at the time, I was going to school, taking my prerequisite courses for nursing. Now, what the catch is, okay, I did not like the courses. And that's the best way to put it. I hated it, okay? It sucked. Oh my goodness, those classes were so hard and difficult. Now, mind you, we started from like the smallest cell, working all the way up to, all the systems and muscles. I still remember some of that stuff. And I just knew, for me, I felt, and I believe, if it's your gifting and your purpose, it's not going to be that hard. Yes, it's going to be challenges and obstacles in the way, but just like, reading a chapter, they want you to read, let's say, 35 pages on the cardiac system and the circulatory system, endocrine system, all of these different things, and it's just like page 1, paragraph 1, sentence 3. Nope, I'm done. I don't want to read anymore. And at the time, I loved being a student, still do. I loved learning. I love maintaining that 4.0 GPA, and these medical classes were messing that up, okay? I started getting letters way at the end of the alphabet, like L, Q, just wrong letters, okay? They had long past A, B, and C. They were some terrible grades. And I knew that I had this calling and this gifting. Something different was inside of me, and pursuing the medical field was not for me. And also, I just, how can I say this without offending some people? You deal with a lot of germs, and it just wasn't Some people love taking care of the sick. That's their calling. That's their purpose. It was no es para mí. It was not for me. I did not like it. And I felt that if God wanted me to pursue that particular career, he would have gifted me for the tolerance of dealing with sick people and the emotional battering that your mind takes when you're dealing with the sick. You deal with death. You deal with seeing people at their worst. And for me, I did not want to do those things. So nonetheless, I pursued a different career. My college degree is in something different. And at the end, I noticed that I love to write. I started writing probably at 13. And I just would always write, always journal, doing short stories, doing poems. And let me tell you something. When I was studying to be a nurse, okay, you have electives that you can take, and most people would take easy electives because the nursing classes and medical classes were hard, like chemistry, anatomy, and physiology. Those classes were hard. So people would take something like art appreciation, I don't know, chorus, whatever it is, just easy classes because the other classes were so hard. I would take stuff like research, writing, creative writing, all kind of writing classes that where you had 15-page papers, doing research papers and studying, getting thesis. All these things I truly loved. Oh my goodness, I couldn't wait to get to the library and research a topic. And even at the time, I couldn't, I was vacillating between what I really wanted to do. And it wasn't until years later. Matter of fact, my first book was not released until, I didn't publish it till 2020. But it was then when I knew that's what my gifting and my calling was. Now, this was not something I sporadically came upon through osmosis. There was a lot of prayer and fasting that went into this because I wanted to know what God had called me to, what was my specific thing just for me. I didn't want to imitate anyone else and try to be like some of my family members who are in the medical field. That's for them. It was not for me. And during that time, I had to accept that what others thought of who I should be was none of my business, and I could care less. Because there are a lot of people who are in fields, their vocation, and they hate it only because their parents wanted them to do this particular job, or there was 5 generations of doctors or lawyers or police officers, teachers, whatever it was, something that was in their family line. And so they pursued it, not really having that particular gifting and purpose. And so for me, I tell my son when we talk about what he wants to do in the future, try a bunch of different vocations: chef, carpenter, mechanic, doctor. Like, try it all to find out where exactly you really want to be. You don't know whether you like it until you try it. Within reason. I'm not saying, literally try everything, but if you find out that you're good at something, that something is easy, because people would ask me, how could I write at a moment's notice? Like, give me a particular topic. I used to write and do spoken word at church, and people would ask me day before or same day and have something written that was prolific. And it was just because it was my gifting and my talent. And so even here on YouTube, being able to speak without a script, I only take one take. I'm not editing, starting, going before. I do none of that. Truth be told, I say a prayer, invite the Holy Spirit in to give me guidance, and I speak whatever God has given me. So this wasn't always my first go to YouTube only because you're in such a state of vulnerability. Because I'm up here and I tell my story, I tell my testimony. You have some people who judge or put crazy things in the comments, and by God's grace, I know that they are irrelevant. They are just demons sent to distract me because God has given me a purpose. But when God first spoke to me about getting my testimony out there, it wasn't something that I wanted to do, especially saying like, hey, I'm a survivor, a single parenthood. It is a survival, okay? Because there are some people that have not made it, okay? Just look around in your family. There are some people like, dang, she got another kid, and who's the father? Is it that one, or what happened? No judgment. I'm just saying. There are some people whose lives have turned out catastrophic because they were a single mother, whether they turned to drinking, to drugs, to alcohol. And I'm not saying that being a single mother, that will lead you there. Just get the context clues. So it wasn't something that's necessarily glorified in society, like, woohoo, sign me up for being a single mother. Like, no, that's really not it. Everybody got what you call relationship goals or whatever. I don't know what the new trend is. But most people don't want to take the time, because you're going to have to sit this one out. When you want to truly be an active single mother and focus on your children. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be in a relationship, but there is some different things we need to navigate when we're dating and we have children. So for me, being able to tell my testimony about being a single mother and to tell my testimony about overcoming an abusive relationship, those aren't things that I really wanted to share with people, because I know how this world is. People will judge you and assume, what did you do? Why did you end up blah? And they have spent 0 seconds in Selena's life. So they know nothing but what I tell them, yet they will still judge you. And that's just life. That's just people. So it does not faze me. That's just what it is, because I know God has covered me in grace, because this is my gifting and my purpose. Because when I first started my YouTube channel, help me Holy Ghost, there were 5 subscribers, okay, and I knew 3 of them. Okay, I have a teeny tiny family, so it wasn't like I had people by the droves subscribing to my channel because I knew them or their family. Like I said, the 3 people who were subscribed to my channel, out of the 5, I knew them. And whoever has subscribed now, God bless you. But it wasn't because I was looking at the numbers and buying subscribers, because I heard you can do that now. But anyway, this is strictly before, because I know God has called me to a specific purpose and to specific people. So when you're trying to figure out your gifting and your purpose, you should already know what I'm getting ready to tell you, that you need to get in your prayer closet and to find out, hey, is this something that's really easy for me? Is it something people have complimented me on? Because some people will think it's their gifting and their purpose is something that has to be on a stage. I'm singing and I'm dancing, you know, something where people can applaud you and be like, wow, look at what you're doing. But sometimes it's just being a good listener. There are plenty of therapists who make 6 figures because they are good listeners. Or people who have great organizational skills, or you're good in math. Just some things, like I said, that doesn't have to necessarily have the spotlight on it and the limelight, because some people think that's what all gifting, all talent should look like. Not everybody can, you know, swish a basketball or catch a football or kick a soccer ball. Not everyone has those gifts and talents. So we need to be able to, 1, submit our will to the Lord and to find out what exactly God has called us to, and not just be so stuck living in a box that we're so afraid to try something out of the norm, so afraid to try something different than what our family has told us what we should be. Because in the end, if you continue to live your life in a box, just remember, that's the same place you'll be resting in peace, in a box. So as always, thank you so much for watching.